Support.
The maestro, please!
Last record rundown of winter. Let's see how the season finishes up. This'll be for the week of
March 18th. 2023.
On this day in music back in 2014, Chandelier by Sia would be released. It would go on to go all the way to the #1 spot on the Hot 100 and would arguably become Sia's most well-known song, as well as winning the Grammy the following year for Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and Best Pop Solo Performance.
I blinked and suddenly I had a Valentine.
First new classical album of 2023, Laufey performing with the Iceland Symphony Orchestra, her first live album, aptly titled A Night at the Symphony.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Fun things to point out on the jazz charts, we have the top 3 jazz albums that have been on this chart for the longest. At number 3, 244 weeks, Frank Sinatra's Ultimate Sinatra. At 266, Michael Bublé's It's Time. And at 314 weeks on the chart, we have Norah Jones's Come Away With Me.
Singing.
Not gonna lie, I'm impressed with Zach Bryan's staying power. American Heartbreak back to #1, because Gorillaz dropped down to number 3.
It's bigger than hip hop, hip hop.
How is your roses while you can still smile? How is it roll?
Third studio album from Uchis, following up 2020 Sin Miedo, and unlike Sin Miedo, which was predominantly in Spanish, this one is predominantly in English. Debut studio album by MELON, coming off of the Dance Fruits record label. 51 tracks on this album, all covers, and for the most part they're all dance tracks, given there's a couple of other subgenres of electronic music in there scattered throughout.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please!
It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero.
It's been announced recently that she's going to be dropping 4 unreleased songs before her Eras tour starts.
How is your roses while you can still smile? How is it roll?
It's funny because we mentioned Don Toliver last week, so now we're just talking about the other half of the relationship. And her album is performing better than his, and I wonder how that makes him feel.
Porque mañana será bonito. Porque hasta el cielo vuelve azulito. Toda la niebla fue un reto.
Considering it debuted at #1 last week, it did beat the record for the all-time highest charting Spanish language album on the chart by a female artist. The previous record holder was Shakira, whose Oral Fixation Volume 1 got up to #4, and considering this is at #3, it is still above that.
I might do my best, not the best idea.
Fun fact, both the tracks Ghost in the Machine and Far have additional vocals by Sadhguru, who, if you don't know who he is, he's actually the founder of the Isha Foundation, which is a spiritual organization mostly focusing on yoga.
I hate to tell you, girl, but I'm only quitting one thing at a time. I know I
This is not completely surprising considering how obnoxiously well his previous album did, and I'm sure we'll have a lot more to deconstruct with this one going forward. Winter, finishing decently strong, finally gave us a classical album to boot. We can only hope that spring does even better when it starts next week.
And now I need some help from the maestro, please! Maestro!